You're watching the Weiss channel. Today we're going to talk about exponential growth and decay. All right. So, for example, Anaya had, you know what? I'm going to back up. Sorry. Let's talk about something I want to talk about here. Let's say you want to invest $1,000. Okay? And it gives you 10% interest. 10% interest. 10% of $1,000 will give you $100 at the end of the year. That is $1,100. Okay? Now, that's the end of the first year. Well, the end of the second year, do you think it would be fair for you to just get $100 more and then have $1,200? Is that fair? Is that right? Should you only get $100 more? I say no. Why not? Because shouldn't you get 10% of $1,100? Now you have $1,100 in the bank. You should be getting 10% of $1,100. 10% of $1,100 is $110. So you should be getting $1,210, not just $1,200. This concept is called compounding. And when you compound annually, you're getting interest on not just what you have in the bank, but the interest you earned as well. Okay? So with that concept in mind, we have a nice little formula to use in order to calculate. Anaya has $40 in an account. The interest rate is 5%, compounded annually. Okay? To the nearest cent, how much interest will she earn in 3 years? Okay? Now, first of all, if you take $40 times 5%, 5% of course is 0.05. Okay? 40 times 0.05 is $2. Does that mean that if you put $40 in an account that you only have $2 at the end? No, it means you have $42, right? So here's what I'm going to want you to do. I want you to do 40 times 1.05. If you do 40 times 1.05, that gives you 42, the amount that you have at the end. Because multiplying by 1.05 makes the calculator multiply 40 by this 1 as well as the 0.05, right? So the 40 stays put, getting you your answer of 42, right? But how do we do it for 3 years, okay? How much does she earn after 3 years? Well, here's what we do. We take this 1.05 number, since it's 5%, and we raise it to the third power, 1.05 to the third power. How do you do that on the calculator? You do 1.05, you hit that x to the y key, and then 3. 1.05x to the y, 3, and then hit equals. Then you're going to do times 40 and hit equals. Okay? That'll give you 40 times 1.05 to the third power. That gives you 46.305. But if we talk about cents, that's going to round up to $46.31. Here's the problem. This problem asked you, what did she earn? Not how much does she have at the end, but what did she earn? If she started with $40 and then she has $46.31, she earned $6.31, right? She started with 40. The account earned her $6.31. That's the answer to this problem. If it said how much does she have in 3 years, then the answer would have been 4631. This next question asks how much she will have at the end. Madison deposited $60 in an account earning 10% interest compounded annually. To the nearest cent, how much will she have in 3 years? So we're going to take 60 times 1.10 to the third power. That'll give you $79.86. If the question said what did she earn, it would just be $19.86, right? Lauren deposited $10 in an account earning 5% interest compounded annually. To the nearest cent, how much will she earn in 3 years? Okay, we're going to take 10 times the 1.05 to the third power. That gives you 1158 at the end. But what did she earn? She only earned 158, right? Okay. Elijah is culturing bacteria that have a growth rate of 10% per hour. The current population is 12,800 bacteria. How many bacteria will there be in 8 hours? We're going to take 1.10 to the 8th power times the 12,800. That'll give us 27,438, rounded to the nearest whole number. Okay. A city's population is currently 365,000. The population doubles every 24 years. What will the population be 96 years from now? What? Here's what we're going to do. What's 24 plus 24? That's 48. What's 48 plus 24? That's 72. What's 72 plus 24? That's 96. Oh, so here's what's happening. We are doubling how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Aha. So we're going to take 365,000 times 2, because 2 means doubling, to the 4th power, because we double 4 times. And we get 5,840,000. So we've been talking about increasing. Here it says Waldorf has cut its annual CO2 emissions by 14%. That means decreasing. So we're going to do 1 minus 0.14. That's a decrease, okay? This year, Waldorf produced 87,280 metric tons of emissions. If the downward trend continues, how much CO2 will be produced 11 years from now? So we're going to take 1 minus 0.14 is 0.86 to the 11th power times the 87,000, oops, this should be 280. 280. Okay. 87,280 times 0.86 to the 11th power will round to 16,557 rounded. A pot of soup currently 74 degrees above room temperature is left out to cool. That means it's going to decrease. If that temperature difference decreases by 5% per minute, what will the difference be in 14 minutes? Okay. So 74 times 1 minus 0.05 is 0.95. To the 14th power gives me 36.087, which rounds to 36.1 if I'm asked the nearest tenth. Abe buys a car for $31,556. The car immediately starts depreciating, losing 10% of its value every year. How much will a car be worth in 10 years? So 1 minus 0.10 is 0.90. In 10 years, it's going to be 0.90 to the 10th power times the 31,556 gives me $11,002.896 or $11,002.90. You've been watching the Weiss channel.